Melissa Kerner from FriendYourBody.com, the place to take charge of your health and transform your life. And today I'm going to show you how to make healthy, homemade Chinese food. Now, growing up, it was tradition for us to order Chinese food on New Year's Eve. And over the years, my boyfriend and I have since adopted that tradition, but we've done something a little bit different. And since we've started eating clean, we've decided to start making our own Chinese food from scratch. And the reason we started doing that is because we realized that it just wasn't worth that crappy feeling that we experienced afterward. So we've tried a lot of different recipes over the last few years, and the two recipes that I'm going to share with you today we made last year, and they were a huge hit. They came out great. So we're going to be making them again this year. But I wanted to share them with you because I not only want you to have a happy new year, but I want you to have a healthy one too. So here's what you're going to need. First of all, we're going to make two recipes. One of them is General Tso's chicken, and the other one is chicken vegetable lo mein. So for the General Tso's chicken, what you're going to need is about 2 pounds of chicken thighs. And these are boneless, and I just sliced them into little thin strips. And then you're going to need some sesame oil, anywhere from a tablespoon to 2. And this is what we're going to use to cook the chicken, to saute it. You need half a cup of chicken stock, a heaping tablespoon of sunflower butter, which is delicious. If you've never had it, it's really, really good. I use it in a lot of different ways, but it just adds a wonderful flavor to the recipe. And then you're going to need 3 tablespoons of coconut aminos. Coconut aminos are a great substitute for soy sauce. It's a much healthier substitute. And basically all it is just aged coconut sap with a little bit of sea salt, and it's really delicious. 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. You're going to need a tablespoon of molasses. You're going to need a tablespoon of some lime juice. You can use fresh lime. It's probably tastes a little bit better, but I just used the pre-squeezed lime juice. I just think it's a little bit easier. For spices, you're going to need half a teaspoon of red chili flakes or chili pepper flakes. You're going to need half a teaspoon of dried onion flakes, half a teaspoon of granulated garlic, and then half a teaspoon of powdered ginger. And then finally, for our toppings, we're going to need some green onions. I used 2 stalks of them, and then I chopped them up. And then as a garnish, you can use some raw cashews. You certainly don't have to use the nuts. I just think it adds a nice garnish, a nice flavor. And so I just measured out a quarter of a cup of raw cashews, and then I chopped them up. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is cook the chicken. I'm going to turn on the stove. Just a good rule of thumb, by the way, is to pour the oil into a cold pan, so it shouldn't be hot. You just want to be careful whenever you're cooking with oil, because if you put it into a hot pan, it can actually damage the oil. So you always want to start with a cold pan. All right, and I'm just going to heat the pan up a little bit before I put my chicken strips in. And again, we're going to do this in batches. So I'm going to cook all the chicken, put it on a plate, and then we'll make the sauce separately. Okay, so now the oil is heated. Again, we're going to cook this on medium to high heat. And I'm going to slowly put my chicken strips in. And I'm probably going to put maybe about half of them. So I don't want to overcrowd the pan. It's a little more challenging to cook that way. And I want to make sure that they're thoroughly cooked. And as you can see, I'm using a cast iron pan. I'm a huge fan of using cast iron. Super durable, and they clean pretty easily, especially if they're seasoned. Alright, so it looks like the first batch of chicken is done, so I'm going to take that out, put it on the plate, and then I'm going to cook the second batch, and that took about 4 minutes. Okay, and here goes batch number 2. Okay, so now our second batch of chicken is done. I'm going to take it out, put it on the plate, and then we'll make our sauce. And again, make sure that when you're cooking the chicken, it's not only browned on the edges, but it's cooked thoroughly. So I always like to cut open a couple of the thick pieces to make sure that those are thoroughly cooked. It smells delicious. I love the smell of the sesame oil. Really yummy. Alright, so now I'm just going to put my chicken aside for a few minutes. And then I'm going to turn the heat down to about medium. And the first thing I'm going to do is pour in my chicken stock. Slowly. And then I'm going to whisk it just to kind of mix in the, little bits of chicken that are in there. And then what I'm going to do is add all of my remaining ingredients, and then I'm going to whisk it until it thickens, and it takes about 2 minutes to do that. So I'm going to add my spices. And then I'll add my coconut aminos. My apple cider vinegar. My lime juice. We'll do the molasses. Molasses add a great flavor too. And now I'm going to add my sunflower butter. Great. Put all this aside. And now I'm just going to whisk all these ingredients together until it thickens. I'll give you a sneak peek at what it looks like. Alright, so here's a closer look. And we're just going to continue to whisk that until it gets a little bit thicker. And again, that usually takes about 2 minutes. Okay, great. Now we're good. Now it's time to add the chicken. I'm going to turn the heat down, and then we'll add our chicken. All right, now it's time to add the chicken. We'll pour it all in, and then I just want to make sure that I mix the chicken well enough so that each piece is evenly coated. Smells amazing. One of my favorite recipes. And what I like to do is make a huge batch so that I have leftovers for a few days. And there we go. We got the chicken mixed in with the sauce. And again, you just want to make sure that it's nice and evenly coated, so you want to mix it well. Good. And now all we need to do is put it in a serving dish and garnish it, and we're done. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is just take a serving of the chicken, just a couple scoops here. Alright, I lied, 3 scoops. And then I'm just going to garnish it with some of the chopped green onion and the chopped cashews. And that's it. Homemade General Tso's chicken. It's really, really delicious. And most importantly, it's good for you. It's healthy. All right. All right, now that the General Tso's chicken is done, it is time to make the chicken and vegetable lo mein. So here's what you're going to need. You're going to need about 2 pounds of chicken breast, and you're going to dice it into cubes. You're going to need about a tablespoon of chopped garlic. I have just over a tablespoon. I really like garlic, so I tend to go a little bit heavier on that. And then you're going to need about a tablespoon of minced fresh ginger. Then you're going to need about 2 to 3 cups of broccoli and about 1/4 cup of sliced celery. And I chopped the celery into small bits. You're going to need about 2 cups of shredded cabbage, about 1/4 cup of chopped green onions, and 1/4 cup of almonds. And then you want to slice them after, or chop them. And then about 1/4 cup of coconut aminos. And then a tablespoon or 2 of sesame seeds, which you're going to use just sort of as a garnish after it's cooked. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is add the oil to the pan, and we're going to add the garlic and the ginger first. So again, maybe a tablespoon or 2 of sesame oil. And you always want to put your oil into a cool pan, so this has been cooling a little bit. I'm going to turn up the heat. And I'm going to set the heat to about medium. Okay, so the oil has been heating just a few minutes here. And now I'm going to add my garlic and ginger first. And I'm just going to saute the garlic and ginger for about a minute. All right, now I'm going to add the chicken. And before I add all the other ingredients, I want to cook the chicken thoroughly, which will take about 3 or 4 minutes. Okay, so the chicken's been cooking for about 4 minutes. It's pretty well done. Now I'm going to add the broccoli and the celery. And I'm going to let that cook for about 2 minutes. All right, so now I'm going to add the cabbage, the green onions, and the slivered or chopped almonds. And then I'm going to add my coconut aminos. And I'm just going to saute this until the cabbage and the other vegetables sort of have a nice crunch to them. So they're slightly cooked. I like my vegetables cooked al dente, so they're not really soggy, but they have sort of a nice bite. All right, and this is pretty close to ready, and I'm going to give you a closer look so you can see what it looks like. And there we have our chicken and vegetable lo mein. The only step left is to take it off the stove, put it in a bowl, and garnish it with our sesame seeds. Alright, so I'm going to turn the heat off here. Everything is cooked. Vegetables still have a nice crunch to them, maintaining their bright color. And I'm just going to take a serving, put it in a bowl, and top it with my sesame seeds. And there you go. We're done. Of course, you could always add, water chestnuts. I love water chestnuts. I wasn't able to get them for this recipe, but normally I'd put water chestnuts in here too. You could also add mushrooms, whatever vegetables you like. And this is such a great recipe to make, with your children or if you have friends and family that you like to celebrate New Year's Eve with. Just something fun to do. So there you have 2 paleo style recipes. General Tso's chicken and chicken and vegetable lo mein. No dairy, no grains, no gluten. It's pretty clean as you can get. So now I want to hear from you. Tell me about some of the healthy recipes that you like to make to celebrate New Year's Eve. Do you have your own healthy homemade Chinese food recipe that you'd like to share? Or do you have some substitution ideas for some of the ingredients that I used? Hop on over to our blog and post your comments there. I would absolutely love to hear from you. If you like these recipes, be sure to share them with your friends and family so that they can benefit from them too. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you're looking for more resources on how to take charge of your health and transform your life, and get some personal insights from me that I only share through email, make sure that you head over to friendyourbody.com and sign up for our free weekly health, fitness, and nutrition tips and recipes. As always, I encourage you to stay focused on your health and continue moving forward by making small and simple healthy lifestyle changes so that you can look and feel your absolute best. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to talking with you again next year. Have a great day, and Happy New Year.